Hi, Troy Martin, TM Fitness, flexible dieting. What is flexible dieting? It's the concept of dieting without dieting, or at least dieting without feeling like you're dieting. Some of the things to consider is that when it comes to food, food is more than just macros and calories. Food is taste and texture and colour and smell. It's emotion. Don't get too obsessive about the whole calorie thing, because you don't eat calories. You eat food. Food just happens to contain nutrients that get broken down and turned into energy, and you measure that energy with calories. Highly restrictive dieting, where you're encouraged to cut out entire food groups, like a low carb diet or a low fat diet, or certain forms of restricted dieting that have you counting points or sins and all that sort of shit. That's a load of rubbish and will often lead into disordered eating. It's the mindset side of this is so important. So people that get too restrictive with their diet, like, you can't sustain that. It's just not sustainable in modern life. How do you socialize if you can't eat carbohydrates, for example? Every time you go to your friend's house, you can't have a slice of cake or a sandwich with them. Like, what's that all about? That will lead into these kind of obsessive compulsive kind of mentalities, which can lead into disordered eating and even eating disorders like orthorexia. It is personality dependent. Some people need to be a little bit more restrictive and cut out certain foods entirely because they just can't say no to them. If you have good levels of self-discipline, you're quite a conscientious individual, then flexible dieting will work well for you, because the chances are that you'll be able to have just one biscuit and then put the lid back on the tin. It isn't to be confused with if it fits your macros. If you put in the hashtag IIFYM on Instagram, and you'll see loads of like gym bunnies, really lean people that are showing off the amount of Skittles and donuts and ice cream they've eaten that day. They're duping you. They're not eating that and looking that way. I promise you. So if you want to learn how to diet without feeling like you're dieting, you need to adopt a flexible approach. We start off with the 80-20 rule. So that's 80% whole foods and 20% other foods. You need to exercise more, because the more you exercise, the more calories you have available to you, which means that you can be even more flexible. So if you're not exercising a lot and you're quite a small person and you're eating less than 2,000 calories a day, you don't have a lot of room for flexibility. But if you're a more muscled person and you're training more and you've got, let's say 3,000, 3,500 calories to play with, then you've got a lot more flexibility. So let's give you an example. So I've said, in this example, you're aiming for 2,500 calories. And that may be a maintenance level, that may be including your deficit, so that's your weight loss target. So 2,500 calories, 80% of that equals 2,000. So you're looking to get 2,000 calories worth of single ingredient whole foods. That leaves you with 500 calories for more flexible foods. To clarify that, 2,000 calories from the likes of lean meats, whole grains, fruit, vegetables, that kind of stuff. 500 calories left over will include things like white bread, bacon, chocolate or wine. As I say, it's individual, so you don't have to have the split that way. Some people like to just select 200 or 300 calories a day. So there might be a food or a couple of foods that they really don't want to never eat again. So, for example, if it's chocolate, allow yourself 200 calories per day to eat a bit of chocolate and make sure that's within your calories. So it depends how flexible you want to be and how many calories you have to play with on how flexible you can be. And as I say, that just makes the whole thing feel less restrictive. It's far more realistic, far more sustainable, and then you feel like you're dieting without dieting. Now, there's one other thing worth considering here, because a lot of people struggle with weight loss in particular if they're a socialite. So if they like going out at the weekends, that's when they blow the diet. So there's a way of incorporating flexible dieting to allow you to have a couple of indulgent days over the weekend. And it looks like this. 7 days here. So you've worked out that your target calories are 2,500. So that's the green line. So on 5 days of the week, you eat below that line. So even if that is your weight loss target and not just your maintenance target, you eat less than that on 5 of these days. So you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday, you're eating below your target calories. And then on Friday and Saturday, when you go out with your mates and you have a curry and a couple of beers, you eat slightly above your calories. So you can go higher than that number on those 2 days, as long as you're significantly lower on these other days, to allow for that extra buffer. Let's say it's 200 calories a day, so that's an extra 1,000 calories to split over those 2 days, so that you can have a little bit of indulgence at the weekend, still have fun, and still hit your health, fitness or weight loss targets. It's not ideal in terms of optimizing health, but it's ideal in terms of lifestyle and sustainability by allowing some of this flexibility. All right, really simple. When it's illustrated like that, it makes it look so much, it's like a no-brainer. It really is. So that's flexible dieting in a nutshell. If you've got any questions, ask away. Don't forget to subscribe, give this a like, and I'll catch you soon. Laters.